Hello there, Deer Hill fifth graders in Cohasset. How are you doing? It's John Belber behind a mask here for safety, as you are practicing safety at home, and I hope you are well and healthy. Today, fifth graders, we have a lesson and a challenge and a task for you all to complete. It involves compost. If I was at the school garden with you, the wonderful new courtyard garden, we would be discussing the making of compost and how important that is for the environment and for the plants that we grow. If you've been at Deer Hill for a couple of years, you'll know that we have been already able to grow some corn, bean, squash, some carrots, some lettuce. All of that grew in those beautiful new garden beds, partly and mainly because of compost. So raise your hand on Zoom or on video if you've made some compost at home before, or maybe you remember coming to the farm and seeing how we make compost here. And if you do that at home, here's the challenge for you today, to learn about how to make compost, to be aware of compost and the role it plays, fifth graders, in the growing of healthy food. It's a natural fertilizer. And to make a natural fertilizer, you need natural ingredients. So at the farm, we collect all kinds of things from restaurants, from kitchens, from places where food is prepared. Nobody wants to eat this red pepper anymore. It has lost its ability to be a good tasting red pepper. It's good to add to compost. An old orange that we picked up that had gone rotten and would not taste good at all. It's got a sticker on there. I'm gonna pull that sticker off because that tells us information, but it's not natural. It's not part of the environment. It's made in a factory. So that will not be good ingredients for decomposition. An old onion, corn, and deep in the bucket is even some manure. Do you know where we get manure on the farm? You guessed it, from our wonderful pony, Pumpkin, and from Benji, the donkey. So we collect that manure so they don't have to have it in their paddocks or in their play areas, and we scoop that up and we put it into our compost pile. Fifth grade, we take these ingredients, and maybe in the fall we can start this up again at Deer Hill or at the middle high school, where I know they are doing some composting, and take these ingredients, instead of putting them in the trash, put them to an add here pile. And you see we've got a lot to add right there. All those pieces are nitrogen, and for a little bit of science, we need to add some carbon with the nitrogen. So it's a science experiment. We want to make sure that it's not just the rotting vegetables, but it's the vegetables plus carbon, which is leaves. Maybe hard to find leaves on the ground right now because it's springtime, but you could use wood shavings, you can rip up newspaper. Those are different ingredients to make compost. Once they're in there together, that pile can get turned and mixed. And you see our add sign. Then it takes a while to cook the compost, and all the microorganisms that are in that compost are working and turning, especially worms. They are really good at digging and working through the ingredients so that we get to a finished compost pile. Here, just to show you, I put a fork into some ingredients here that have turned into a nice, rich, healthy humus, a compost. I don't see any banana peels. I don't see any red pepper skins. Certainly not any manure. It's turned into a nice, rich, healthy compost. If I dug a little bit further, I'd find some worms in here too. They are wonderful at making that compost. So let me see if I can pull a worm out here, boys and girls, because we can't do this on a field trip today. We can't do this in the courtyard. But there we have a nice little happy worm who works and wiggles with all of his and her friends to help make this finished product. What do we do, fifth grade? What do we do with this finished compost? How do we use it? We've made it. We've saved on trash. Can we put it into the garden? Will it help our plants to grow? It's natural. It's organic. It's a good fertilizer. Sometimes people put fertilizers on the grass so that there are no weeds or dandelions. That's a synthetic chemical fertilizer. Here at Holly Hill Farm, an organic farm, and in school gardens, we use organic fertilizers made naturally, as you can see with our ingredients that we've used here. So my challenge to you is to observe and find evidence and acts of compost at your home. Maybe you want to make a pile. Ask a parent or an adult in the house, can I find a spot to make a pile with these ingredients, with these nitrogen sources, these carbon sources? How can I make compost at home? How can I learn about where compost is made? Is it made at the town recycling center and facility? Can you look up ways of making compost online if you're unable to do so at home? What I would like from you, fifth graders, and I know we're trying to learn to do work all from afar and by video, is to send me information about what you found out about compost and how it works. If you've been able to make some of your own, observe some examples of it in our community or elsewhere, in large cities like Milwaukee and Seattle. They're making all kinds of compost. They're collecting it curbside. Do some research, fifth grade. See what you can do to find out about how compost is made and how you can take part in that. So Jon is my name, John, and you can email me your results. Fifth graders, I want to hear from you. I want my email box to be flooded. John@hollyhillfarm.org. Jon@hollyhillfarm.org. Also, here in Cohasset, Holly Hill Farm is located at 236 Jerusalem Road, Cohasset, Mass. 02025. I love getting letters. You can write me a letter. You can make a drawing of your compost. Art must not be forgotten in the making of compost. Make some art. Show me, and I will share with your teachers too, how you are taking this lesson of compost, applying it, learning about it, and maybe taking on the practice of making it. It reduces trash. It helps the plants to grow. It gives us the food that we need. So we'll post this to YouTube. Jon@hollyhillfarm.org. John Belber at 236 Jerusalem Road here in Cohasset. 781-383-6565 here at the farm. I look forward to hearing from you. Happy composting, happy spring, stay well.